Welcome to a scene storyboard of the movie Prisoners, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, director Denis Villeneuve. This is a scene where Detective Loki, which is Jake Gyllenhaal, is frustrated with how the investigation is going. So we see now he's looking at a piece of paper, which is the main piece of evidence. It has a drawn map of a maze, and we see now a shot of the two people, the detective and his captain, followed by a close-up of what he is looking at, the piece of paper. And we see now that there's only one person talking in this dialogue. Detective Loki is uninterested, he's not listening, and we get now a sense of what he is looking at. And now the following shot is really clever. The director now refocuses the image when Loki puts his hands on his head, and now we see the markings and Masonic ring, which adds to the background to the character. Asks the audience, what does this mean? The next shot we see now is an overhead, not quite an overhead, but of Loki walking towards his desk. And now we see as he walks closer, he fills up the bigger portion of the frame, where he's now going to straight arm his desk in frustration and complete anger, let his emotions out, and he bashes the keyboard on his desk, breaking it. Following this, now we have a relatively close-up, sort of a medium shot of his top half of the body, the camera position from the angle of the desk, looking slightly up. We now go towards from behind. This is something that director does really well in this movie. He does closer. He's zoom in. When he zooms in, the audience gets taken into their character. We get drawn into their character and what he's feeling. And now we go back to the shot from the desk, and now you'll see he spots the toy caravan, which is I won't give away the story, but central to the story. He plays with it, contemplating the investigation, what's the next step, how this is not going to plan. Now we see a shot from over his shoulder from a camera. There's a cameraman there holding it. We see now the character pushing the toy caravan onto the floor. Now the next shot you'll see, it's a continuous shot when you see the film. The camera moves now beyond his shoulder, where we see the evidence, other pictures lying on the ground. He'll pick it up now, and he notices something. Now we go back to the shot from the desk again. He notices that there's a picture of a corpse that has a pendant on it, and carved onto the pendant is the same maze he was looking at earlier. So he grabs a photocopy. So the director now shows the audience exactly what Loki is looking at, Detective Loki is looking at, showing us his point of view. Again, back to the desk shot, showing us what Loki is looking at and what he's thinking, where all of a sudden he gets a phone call, and that's the end of the scene. So now the plot has been progressed, and it goes on to the next scene in the movie, Prisoners.